Now I'm going to be walking you through of how I believe we could use SmartLink's asset feature. And perhaps the most complicated aspect of this whole operation is finding it. So first of all, you're going to go over to Sites. And just for example, I'm going to be using Bridge Street Park, mostly because I'm semi-familiar with the layout. From here, you are going to be looking for the assets icon on the top of the dashboard. It is the second from the right-hand side. And then I prefer to switch this over to satellite view. Makes it a little bit easier to figure out exactly where you are. And this is where it can get fun because there's a ton of different things that you can do. But just to keep it simple as we're starting out, we're going to click Add Asset up there on the top right-hand corner. And we're going to be naming our first asset Bridge Street Park, WM1, which stands for Water Meter 1, just in case there were multiple. You can see right below the name there is a type selection. And we will get into that a little bit more moving forward. But for right now, we're going to keep it as it is. And now we are going to zoom in, and I do know the approximate location of the water meter, so I'm going to go ahead and place a point there and click Save. And that's actually going to save that icon. And this is completely interactive, so you can go back and add more assets at whatever time you like. I'm going to switch it back over to satellite view here and zoom in, and you can see the location that I placed that icon. So now we're going to switch this blue marker over to green, which is what I like to use for backflow prevention. We will name this icon Bridge Street Park DCA 1. Once again, that's just in case there are multiple on the same property. And after we click Save on this, zoom back in, and you can see the backflow preventer's location. And once again, this is approximate. It's not meant to be exact, but it does give you a good idea. Now we are going to be tagging the controller, and if you click on type, you can actually scroll through there. There is a selection for controller panel. I like to use the red marker for the controller. And we will name this Bridge Street Park Controller, keeping it simple. Now if you look at the bottommost option, it gives you the capability of selecting which controller, and since there are two, we actually have to select Bridge Street Park Controller. And last but not least, we are going to be mapping the weather sensor. Keep the name simple, Bridge Street Park Weather Sensor. And for this, I like to use the orange icon. And like I said before, I think it's best that we keep this pretty consistent. Go ahead and select the correct controller. And we are going to plot that point, but I will show you that you can actually change your view on this just to make sure that you get the best location you can. Go ahead and save that, and then I will show you what you need to do just in case you needed to change something on there. And I'm going to go back to edit. You can also put notes in, and I'm just going to give a little brief description of where exactly it is mounted at. Now that we have that saved, our map is looking good, and like I said before, this is interactive. You can go back and you can add, you can delete assets. This is something that each of us could utilize when we're out in the field doing inspections. We come up on something that perhaps we didn't know was there, quickly throw it into the SmartLink asset feature. Now it's there forever.